welcome back to Real Reviews. This is Cody Williams, and we are talking about the movie Scream. It is the long-awaited fourth sequel, making this new film the fifth movie of the series. I don't know why they just didn't call the movie Scream 5 to avoid confusion, but either way, I'm pretty excited to finally see this movie. When the idea of a new sequel was floating about, I wasn't too keen of it knowing that it was being made without the legendary horror director Wes Craven, since he passed away a few years ago. When I first saw the trailer for this new movie, I have to say that it did grab my interest. 25 years after a streak of brutal murders shocked the quiet town of Woodsboro, California, a new killer dons the Ghostface mask and begins targeting a group of teenagers to resurrect secrets from the town's deadly past, and Sidney Prescott must return to uncover the grisly truth. I am so glad to finally review my first new movie of the year, since my area town was covered in snow last weekend. It was a mess. I'm not normally a big fan of movies during the month of January, because it's the time of the year where bad movies go to die, so to speak. The filmmakers anticipate underperformance in the box office, and they just dump their film in January. While I did go into this movie with an open mind, and also being kind of skeptic about it, I was completely blown away by how truly amazing it was. The stakes are higher this time around, the brutality is unmatched, the tension and suspense are unnerving, and lastly, the script was just brilliant. I wouldn't call this movie a sequel directly, where the correct terminology for this particular film would be a requel. What that means is that it does advance the story, but it also revisits the original source material at the same time. I hope that makes sense. Either way, this requel is definitely worth checking out. I would even go out on a limb and say that this movie is definitely superior when compared to the other sequels. The first film is a timeless classic that reinvented the horror genre, and its direct sequel, Scream 2, is equally just as good. Scream 3, however, was just a hodgepodge of a mess, and Scream 4 was a total disaster. With this new movie in the lineup, I want to say that it's about neck to neck with Scream 2. While in the majority, this new film is fantastic, but it's not perfect, however, which I will get back to later. First off, I want to talk about the brilliance of the movie itself. Do you remember how the other Scream movies often broke the fourth wall and how self-aware they were? Well, this new film carries that tradition very well, mind you. The film script is extremely clever to the point where it feels like the audience is being toyed with. Unlike any of the previous sequels, this new film does not contain any stupid cliche character decisions, which is kinda nice for a change of pace. There is a great beautiful tribute to the late Wes Craven, and there are tons of references to legacy characters. Some of them actually do return, such as Neve Campbell, David Arquette, and Courtney Cox. The legacy characters were great and all, but the new characters are where the movie is at mainly. Some of the talent behind the new characters were good, but as much as I hate to say, the main lead actress cannot act her way out of a paper bag. She was so void of any expression, it's ridiculously painful to watch. As far as anyone else goes, they were alright. As far as the kills go in the movie, they are way more brutal and nasty. So much so, it's guaranteed to make you squirm in your seat. Undoubtedly, this is the goriest any of these movies has ever been. Even the parts leading up to the kills were very hair-raising with a very effective use of tension and suspense. Without spoiling anything, I was kinda disappointed with the big reveal at the end. It's not saying much since the ones in the last couple films were also lackluster, but I just think that the motive behind the killings were not very impactful. Yeah, there is this one thing that leaves the film open-ended to explore another thing if the need for another sequel should ever arrive. However, it just became a little too much, in my opinion at least. In all honesty, I think the series should end on a good note with this magnificent film. Overall, Scream is unabashedly one of the best entries in the series that wholeheartedly deserves the respect to be called a shockingly amazing horror flick that lives up to its namesake. While it's not revolutionary and groundbreaking as the first two films were, however, this requel still holds up well on its own merit. It may not be perfect, but it's still very entertaining regardless. I give this movie an A-. Thank you for watching, and don't forget to like and subscribe to my channel to keep up with my real reviews.